This Week in Startups is brought to you by Braintree. To learn more about how Braintree makes handling your marketplace easy, visit braintreepayments.com/twist. And Squarespace. Start building your website today at squarespace.com. Enter offer code TWIST at checkout to get 10% off. Our iTunes review of the week is from Zilling Gong. Jason's experience as an entrepreneur and successful angel investor adds to the extraordinary guests in the trenches, toiling to make humanity better via startups.
One of the first people I met when I started in the internet industry was my good friend Yossi Vardi. Come on up, Yosi. And Yosi is a legend and taught a lot of us what we know about building companies.
Go on.
And angel investing in them, and just how to be good human beings, and how to be funny on stage. And so, it's good to see you, my friend. It's been a while. Life is good?
Life is very good, other than I woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning in Austin this morning, which was 1 a.m. in San Francisco.
You woke up.
So my challenge this time is not how not to get the audience sleep, but how not to bore me to sleeping.
Okay, so we're going to ask.
How old you are now?
I'm good. Life is great.
No, how old are you?
How old am I now? I am 45.
45.
You met me when I was 25.
We met at 96, yeah.
Yeah, 25 years old. It's been.
You look good. You look good for your age.
Thank you. I'm trying. You look great. You look the same. You haven't changed.
Yeah.
For people who don't know, you've invested in 100 startup companies over 30 years.
Yeah.
Some of them have done well.
Some of them were closed. No, many of them were closed. Right. 30 of them were closed.
Yeah. And you're still investing?
No, I now have a portfolio. I reduced my 86 company portfolio to 26. I sold 30. I closed 30, and now I'm with 26.
So you're staying focused on them?
I don't know if I'm focused, but I have 26 companies.
Okay. So
ask me why I reduced the number of companies.
Hey, Yosi, why did you reduce the number of companies?
That's a very good question, I'll tell you. When I have done the first 2-3 investments, it was very nice. When you were a kid, you found a kitten at the street, and you brought it home, and you gave it milk, and you watched how the kitten is drinking the milk.
So
and you got a very good feeling in your belly that you are a great human being, and you brought another kitten.
Yeah, now you have 2.
Now you have 2. Then you have 5. Now you have 5. It's beginning to be challenging. I ate 86.
It's a lot.
So one day I woke up.
You became a cat lady.
No, one day I woke up and I saw that I'm totally covered with kitten shit, and then I decided to reduce the portfolio.
Makes sense. We've had many long conversations, and you've taught me a lot about product design. Perhaps one of the great lessons you gave me.
I know where you are leading.
You know where I'm leading, but you really taught me a great lesson about product design as it relates to a fine automobile. Perhaps you could share, for a lot of the young kids in the audience, they don't even remember the first phase of the web, let alone the desktop.
Look, we are recycling this story already for 20 years.
They haven't heard it. It's good shtick. It's good shtick.
No, it's true. Jason and I had talks about any conceivable thing to deal with the internet, really. And this, when he was a kid, now I don't know if he still has his marbles in place, but when he was a kid, he was really brilliant. He created one of the best and first events in the internet, Rising Tides.
Yeah.
Rising Tide, this was 98.
Yeah, in New York.
Then the tide went down, and when the tide goes down, you see the underwear of everybody else. Sure. So he stopped this conference. Nevertheless, at one of the meetings, we spoke about user interface and user experience. And user experience is probably one of the most important things and one of the most difficult and most elusive things. You cannot write a recipe how to create great user experience. And sometimes you have something wonderful, but a very little problem, a button that you don't know where it is can drive you crazy. And I gave Jason this metaphor. I told him, suppose you have a new Mercedes, you buy the Mercedes, you bring it from the dealer. Still, the seats are covered with the nylon. How you call it? The plastic.
Plastic, yeah. Fresh
The plastic.
car.
You open the door, you get this fantastic odor of leather, which I don't know.
The new car smell.
The new car smell.
Corinthian leather.
Yeah, you have new car smell and new baby born smell are the two best smells in the world, right?
Absolutely.
And then you see that your dog shit on the driver's seat. Voila, you cannot drive the car anymore. You see, so the whole experience is being
ruined.
It's
dog shit.
Yeah. So
it's an important lesson of product design.
Yeah. That you should let your dog shit on your product.
Right. Which is also
That's
don't let the sales team near the product.
Yeah, don't let the sales team, don't let the
CEO.
The CEO. The CEO is the worst one. No, the investors are the...
Keep them away, for sure.
Yeah, keep them away. Just listen to your audience.
Hey, last week we had an election here in the United States. I'm curious, how do our friends in Israel look at this election result? And how do you look at it?
Next question.
Exactly. Okay, so we have a microphone
Look,
here.
I have to begin to offend the voter. Who voted for Trump? Raise your hand.
That's a dangerous thing to do in San Francisco. Do not do it. Do not raise your hand. If you did it, it's your business. Do not.
Who voted for Hillary? Raise
Everybody
your
is going to raise their hand. Okay, good. Okay, good.
Okay, so
nobody's going to get hurt.
0 voted for Trump, 2% voted for Hillary, 98% don't understand my accent.
Right. All right. Now we know. All right. So,
ask me what is the most important thing for a startup. I saw that everybody is standing on this. On this stage and give advices, you know.
That's it. You know, I was thinking we had such great advice today. Well, I wonder, Yossi, what do you think is the most important advice for startups and founders of startups?
Yeah, okay, there are a number of things, but I will. Look, I prepared in my head some imaginary fire chat, and you are not going totally according my preparation, you know.
No problem. Just tell me the question.
So I need to get you back to the track.
Yeah.
Actually, you can go, and I will ask myself the question.
That's fine. That's fine. I'll be at the bar.
Yeah.
Okay. So now what's sincerely? What's
I tell you, you wrote 86 companies, 49 years. So I thought, what did I learn myself?
Yeah. What have you learned?
What did I learn? Okay, I learned number one. I learned that you don't learn anything. You know, I'm very creative in creating new mistakes every time. You know, this is my area of creativity. I think I made all the mistakes in the world, and I see that I can create more mistakes.
More complex and bigger mistakes, I hope.
Sometimes yes, sometimes no, depends on the situation. Nevertheless, few things which is important to understand.
Okay.
Or to know.
Yes.
At least this is my lesson. Number one, I thought that many years I thought the ideas are overrated. You know, everybody speak about the big idea, the killing idea, etc. Now, after so many investment, etc., I know that ideas are totally unimportant, irrelevant. Doesn't
completely.
Matter. Completely.
Why?
Why?
Yeah.
I'll tell you why. Because what is important is not the idea, but the execution. The execution, you can see the same idea. Let's talk about instant messaging, which is...
ICQ, you had the original.
Yeah, we had the original. We were very lucky. It's a very interesting story. We sold the company to AOL for $400 million. Tencent were inspired, you know, by this, created a company of $200 billion, which shows you that somebody can take an idea and run with it much farther.
So some of the best ideas have already been done.
Yeah.
They just require better execution.
Exactly.
And the creation of the smartphone.
Creation of the smartphone. You know, Skype came for 7 years. ICQ was number one on download.com. You remember download.com?
Sure. Yeah.
So we kept...
The old App Store.
Yeah. The first one, probably. No, this and Two Cows.
Two Cows were the original app stores.
Yeah.
A place to download stuff.
Right. We didn't know it's app stores, but it was app stores.
Yeah.
So for 7 years, we kept the number one, which was very nice. But then came these guys from Estonia or some...
Yeah.
Created
Somewhere.
Skype.
Yeah.
came with one more feature, executed extremely well.
Video.
Took the market. It was...
First phone calls.
First it was phone calls, and what they have done, again, speaking about one feature, until they created Skype for voice, the standard in the telephony was 3 kilohertz, the bandwidth for the audio. They created a codec which allow, I think, 8.3 kilohertz. So the sound
rich.
Very rich. Everybody was amazed. Didn't understand what's going on. So lesson number 1, the idea is not important. Lesson number 2, what is really very important is to create your social assets.
Hey everybody, let me take a moment to tell you about Braintree, and our focus this week is marketplaces. As you know, marketplaces are a huge trend in our industry, right? Uber's a marketplace for transportation. Thumbtack is a marketplace for services. And marketplaces are an amazing new business model. They're gaining in popularity. You have 2-sided marketplaces, 3-sided marketplaces. But what it means is that customers can purchase goods and services from multiple providers, right? You've got a bunch of people here on the supply side, and you got a bunch of people on the demand side. You put them together. Sometimes people call it collaborative consumption or the sharing economy. But all of these merchants are on one platform, hopefully yours. And you need to manage all this. You need to have a payment system that does that. So if you owned a tutoring company, let's say, and students pay from their phones at the end of the session, you would collect payment and then you pay your sub-merchants, the tutors. Well, you can designate a service fee with each transaction, and Marketplace will distribute the funds to you and the sub-merchant, right? So that's what Braintree's been working on, is these great new features, including around marketplaces, and it makes it super easy. You can, they'll help you with the onboarding of the sub-merchants, right? Those tutors or people who, are organizers or clean up your garage or chefs, whatever it is on your platform, on your marketplace. And they don't charge you any additional fees for this. You set up a marketplace using their standard pricing. A lot of my startups use Braintree, almost all of them, I think. And you can learn more by visiting braintreepayments.com/twist. braintreepayments.com/twist. Marketplaces are a great place to be as an entrepreneur, and Braintree is going to make it super simple for you. Go ahead and check out braintreepayments.com/twist. Okay, let's get back to this amazing episode.
Today, in today's world, you don't work, there is a saying, a man is not an island, a startup is not an island. You always have to count on the help of other people, of the ecosystem. You have to actively build ecosystem. You have to be a good citizen, you have to collaborate, you have to share. I recommend, and you the same, to go to as many conferences as you can. I mean, you go to conferences if you cannot create them. If you can create them, it's even better. You have to build and expand your social asset. If you build your social asset, it will be easier for you to execute. You want another suggestion, which is also very important? Get all the assholes out of your life.
All of them?
All of them, yeah.
Now I know why you have a cult.
Zero tolerance to assholes.
Yeah. Zero,
yeah. Try it. You will see it change your life.
Yeah.
And the last thing, who in the audience created startup? Raise your hand.
If you've created a startup.
Okay. Who in the audience failed at least once when creating? Be honest. Be honest. Not yet. Who has a failing in his future? Raise your hand. Good, realistic people. Okay, look, you have to know one thing. This game is a game which is based on failure. Failure is part and parcel of the business. Don't think that failure is failure. Think on it as the raw material for success. You have to be able to cope with failure. You don't have to be shy about it. I'm not suggesting you brag about it, okay?
Right.
But you have to expect it as part of life, and if you fail, you have to go and start again. I like to cite, and maybe we'll do it, we have like 2 minutes extra?
Sure.
Sure, I like always to cite in that respect the wonderful paragraph from the speech of whom?
Oh, Teddy Roosevelt?
Very good, Teddy Roosevelt.
The arena.
The arena. The man in the arena. Who heard about the man in the arena? Raise your hand. Very little. Okay. Anybody of you go to, you have smartphone? Who has smartphone in his pocket? Raise your hand.
We have 2 of them here.
2 of them.
Yeah.
So anybody in the audience, go and search in Google the man in the arena and look for the 3rd paragraph, which starts with, "It's not the man." Anybody who found it, first one, come to the stage and read it to the rest of us.
All right, here's the microphone. 3rd paragraph of The Man in the Arena.
Nobody found it. They don't understand what I'm talking. You shouldn't invite me anymore.
I haven't.
You have it. Can you read it, but nicely, like
in a profound way.
Dramatically.
It is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles, or where the door of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes short again and again, because there is no effort without error and shortcoming, but who does actually strive to the deeds, who knows great enthusiasm, the great devotions, who spends himself in a worthy cause, who at the best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who at the worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who neither know victory nor defeat.
Nice. You wrote it?
Yeah, I ad-libbed it.
Yeah, okay. I suggest to anyone who goes into this business, type it and put it in front of your on your mirror or refrigerator, because you will need this paragraph, more than one in your lifetime.
Yeah. Why does it strike you so much? Why does it touch you so much?
It touched me because as I said, I closed 30 companies in the last 20 years. Or I didn't close, but I invested in companies which were closed, and it's always very painful. And for me, the pain is not in losing the money. I lose the money here, I will make it in 3 months in another company. But I see these young people which are throwing their life, into the company 2, 3, 4 years, when they are 20, 25, 30. How many 4 years installments you have when you are 30? And usually, or not usually, some people are being deterred by it. They fail and they get depressed and they walk away. And I know that if you try and you try and you try, eventually you have a chance to succeed. And I think it was phrased really very, very, very nicely. This Mr. Roosevelt, I assume, was quite a talented guy.
Yeah, he did okay. All right, so now is your chance to ask Yossi Vardi or I a question. It can be a question about life, startups, anything. Any question.
The meaning of life.
The meaning of life. Have you figured it out?
No, but I want to quote the guy who won the Webby. You remember in 2004? And in the Webby, your receiving address can contain 5 words.
The Webby Awards, yes.
The Webby
Awards. You win best website or something.
Right. What do you mean or something?
Best website, best software, best game, yeah.
So he got 5 words.
5 words.
And he said, the secret to happiness is, and he walked away from the stage.
Wow. They give him another 5 words?
No.
Just that.
Let me take a moment to thank Squarespace for, first of all, making amazing software. I was just working on one of the new projects I'm working on. You may have heard of television show. And we had to make a website. And I just went on to Google Domains, and I was buying a domain over at Google Domains, and boom, you can just, when you're setting up your Gmail, fire up and launch Squarespace. I guess they're partners now. And I was able to fire up a gorgeous website in literally minutes, and it looked like we spent $25,000 making it. It looks professional. It's intuitive and easy to use. No coding is required. And they use state-of-the-art tech. It's super secure. It's super stable, and it's trusted by millions, some of the most respected brands in the world. We, in fact, use it for all of our events and conferences, and you can start your free trial today. No credit card is required. And you'll get a free domain name if you sign up for a year. I'm an idiot. I did it wrong. I signed up at the wrong domain place. I didn't know that I would get a free domain. I got to go back and do that next time. If you decide to sign up for Squarespace, if you do decide that you're going to sign up for Squarespace, which I'm sure you will, just use the promo code TWIST and you'll get 10% off your first purchase. It is an amazing, amazing product. It's super easy to use, and they keep adding features to it, which is one of the great things about the software as a service movement. They keep getting more people loyal to the product. They keep being able to hire more product managers, developers, and researchers to figure out what to make next. And boom, they make amazing product, and they keep the price the same. So things are getting better and better over there at Squarespace. I love the product. Go ahead and follow at Squarespace.
So you have no questions for me or Yosi. Here's one coming. Okay. Now, a nice question. Jackie's going to hold the microphone.
Can you introduce yourself?
Yeah.
My name is Kendall. I work for Reactive Ops.
For what?
Reactive Ops.
Reactive Ops.
Reactive Ops, okay.
So we're growing, succeeding. We're a bootstrapped company, and we have an opportunity to just keep growing like we are. Should we go out and raise a bunch of money and take control in a significant way, or should we stay bootstrapped as long as we can?
That's a terrific...
It's a good question.
It's a terrific question. First of all, it depends on the characters of the owners, of the founders. If you ask me if you can bootstrap, go and bootstrap. You know, there is somewhere in this area, there is a company called Startup Genome or Compass. I don't know if you know it. They research like 3,000, 4,000 startups to see what are the parameters of success, and they found that raising too much money is toxic. You raise too much money, your money bladder begin to be active, you pee a lot of money, you create... No, it's not funny. By the way, speaking about bladder, I have an idea for product I will tell you in a minute. I think the world is too much obsessed with autonomous cars. I don't think this is the issue. I think what we really need is autonomous bladder. At 2 o'clock in the morning, you need to go to the toilet, you press a button, the bladder goes, do whatever it does.
Or the toilet could come to you.
That's also...
Or we could just go with a diaper, it depends.
No.
I mean, it does depend, in a way.
Okay, but going back,
to the question,
bootstrapping is a beautiful way to create companies. My first startup, which was, I must admit, in 1969, which most of you were not even in a liquid state at this.
No, highly illiquid.
We created it. We raised $5,000 among ourselves, and we created what turned to be the largest software company in Israel in the 70s. But it was not a big deal because we had 300 employees. We were the biggest startup. But bootstrapping is good. Investors are always a problem. You know, you cannot, it's maybe a small problem, maybe a big problem, there may be supporting, etc. But if you can do bootstrapping, it's very good. I would like, however, to warn you, if you raise money, against 2 things. One is taking loans. Loans, because equity is dormant. Loans at a certain period come and shoot you.
Yes.
Yeah.
They come due. You need an extension.
Yeah, you need to pay them. And when you need to pay them and you don't have money...
It's a problem.
Yeah, somebody told me that the solution is if you don't have money, pretend that you do have. But it's very hard to pay the loans by pretending that you have money if you don't have money. This is the reality. Second thing, a curse of this industry are the preferred investment. Because preferred investment, if you undress it, how you call it? Undress it?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just a glorified loan. Because the guy, usually preferred investment are coming when the founders, for ego reasons, want to show high valuation. So the VC says, okay, I will give you high valuation, but first of all, you give me back my money. So if the guy wants $3 billion for the company, if the VC think it doesn't worth $3 billion, if he will sell it for $20 million, he will give him $20 million and ask to get the first money, and he doesn't care what is the valuation, okay?
Right.
So Preferred loan are loans, expensive loans that you pay not only interest, but you pay also part of the company. So when I invest, I tell my investor that I invest in common stock. The rest of the industry in Israel think I'm crazy. I mean, they used to think I'm crazy until I sold the company to AOL. Then I was turned from crazy to eccentric, which is the privilege of people which made money, you know.
It's like,
You never saw a poor eccentric guy, you know.
Right.
So
those would be crazy people.
Yeah.
Or homeless. Yeah.
So, but they ask me, why are you investing in common when everybody will take your money with preferred? And I tell them, the whole thing about preferred is making the line who will jump first, who will be the first to the window when there is a fire. And when there is a fire, I want everybody to go and bring buckets of water, not to jump first out of the window. So if you can bootstrap, do it.
So much better to bootstrap.
This was a short answer to the question.
Yeah, no, take your time on the next one.
Yeah, okay.
That's good. We have time. No, but we'll add an hour. Go ahead.
Can you introduce yourself?
Yes, my name is Victor. I'm co-founder and CEO of Scribble. And I wanted to, I guess, get your thoughts on the last topic before the questions, which is you said you shut down 30 companies, or you saw 30 companies shut down. You know, today we had a talk here by Jamie from Ring, who had a really tough time in the beginning, and then he ended up sort of being successful due to a number of factors. You know, oftentimes the difference between being the crazy guy that is chasing a bad idea and the person who is really persistent and sort of saw it all the way through is very thin and gray and blurry. And I'm wondering if, based on the companies you've seen that are successful and ones that you had to shut down, if you had any advice to folks that are sort of in the middle of that process and trying to decide whether they're the crazy guy choosing something that isn't going to work versus somebody that should persist through the tough times.
My suggestion is to have successful company than losing company. Next question.
Yes. So in all cases, be successful and don't deal with this issue.
No. I want to tell you the following. The toughest decision, really the toughest, the most painful, and the most critical is when you should throw the towel.
Yes.
You have a company. If it dies quickly, it's okay. As how your friend Steve Jobs said, fail
fast.
Fail often, fail fast.
Right.
Fail fast, it's a very good suggestion. It's very difficult to have the discipline to do it. We have so many zombies which are still around. I think we see some zombies already from before the first bubble, you know.
Web 1.0.
Yeah, so you see the companies, they are working and they are grinding and they are selling and they make no profit and they don't have money, and the founders are already 14 years, 15 years, they are refusing to throw the towel. They sacrificed the better part of their life on the altar of trying to succeed. On the other hand, we saw many times that companies which look totally failure, all of a sudden got some reincarnation. Okay, I had an exit two weeks ago from a company which I already wrote it off in my book. So this is a very tough decision. I don't have the formula when to throw the towel, but throwing the towel is an option that people always have to have in their mind, especially young people, which are 23, 24, 25. I say if it doesn't stick, give up, don't ruin more years, and go and try again. And we saw many times that people lost in the first round, in the first investment, and then they come and do wonderful wonderful exercise. I know that I didn't provide you with any useful information, but actually this is all my session is of the same nature, right? Probably the whole conference.
Yeah, it's information that doesn't necessarily help.
Good.
It's the subtitle of the conference.
Tell me, why don't we make a conference on unuseful information?
Just information of questionable
most of the
value.
Conferences anyhow.
Yeah, information of questionable value. So enjoy that.
This line is for asking questions?
I think this is either for drinks or asking questions. So with drink or question?
Why don't we make an auction? Why don't we sell them the right to ask questions? You know,
Absolutely. For sure.
Okay.
Go ahead. Question from you.
I'll take the question this time.
Okay.
So my name is Brian.
That doesn't mean, Amit Shafrir, are you here? Yes. Come over. I want to give you a chance to do plug of your new startup because I spoke about asking questions.
Yeah.
Do you mind?
I don't mind to plug. Anybody, if you want to ask
Amit,
your
come
company.
over and tell them about asking questions.
Yeah. Okay. Here we go. After this guy. First,
This is Amit Shafrir. He used to run ICQ. He was the president of AOL.
Here we go. President
Premium Services.
Let him ask you a question. Sure.
Can you wait a second?
He'll go.
This guy first. Come on.
This guy first? Okay. Here we go.
Okay, I'm Brian Jenks. I'm the founder of a company called Droplet. We provide cloud services for IoT. Okay. So here's my question. It seems to me that investors always want to see something totally new. Maybe something, especially on the West Coast, something we've never seen before. And I feel as a founder constantly pressurized to create something that's never been seen, never been heard of, and in all likelihood is way before anyone understands the problem, right? So we're pushed way out, we're building things that nobody understands yet, and then we have to survive this long haul until the market's actually ready, because of course if we build it when it's ready, then it's too late. So we think that we're coming into a market from a different perspective, right? We're coming into something that's got a lot of players, and we believe that by doing it better, there's a big opportunity. How do we sell that to investors? How do we even get over that hump of like, yeah, I know this sounds like something you've heard before, but we promise we're doing it way better. And Slack seems to have done it. Companies like Payrolls or now it's Gusto seems to have accomplished it as well.
Okay, good question. How do they know?
What is beeps from the outer space?
I have a call coming in. I'm going to answer it in a minute. Tell them I'll be right.
No, why don't you answer? We will listen to... Go ahead, be our guest.
Yeah. No, I'm talking to Yossi. Yeah, Yossi Vardi. Okay, I'll call you back. I love you too. Yeah. Cackle. Spaghetti's good. Yeah, okay. Thanks.
It was utterly non-interesting.
It was not an important phone call. I wanted to get
I
it to
thought
voice.
we will get some tips or something useful.
Nothing.
Okay.
It was my wife calling. She says I have a hearing problem. I said, I don't think I have a hearing problem.
That you have hearing problems?
Since I have a hearing problem. It's weird though. It only comes up when I'm talking to her.
It's only when your wife speaks to you.
Yeah, that's when I have the hearing problem.
I
was trying to give you that softball. I was teeing it up for you. Okay, so now what's the answer to the question?
The question is, he says that the investors are stupid. He wrapped it very nicely.
He's confirmed it.
With a lot of words.
If we proved anything here, we've proven that today.
Yeah, and actually it's
200 companies between us.
You know, there is 200 companies between us.
I've done 100, you've done 100, yes.
So we are covered with a lot of kitten shit together.
It's kitten shit everywhere, man. It's like a litter box up here.
Yeah, but you never told me your statistics. You see, I tell you my statistics, 30, 30, 26.
All that matters is the top two. That's 99%, right?
Unfortunately, you are right.
I mean, everything else takes a lot of time, and you have to root for everybody. You spend 99% of your time on the 95% of your time on the 99% that fail.
Yeah.
And you spend 5% of your time on the 2 or 3% that's.
That's very true. And what is the moral?
The moral is
how you allocate your time.
The way I look at it is.
I will tell you what is the moral.
Yeah.
I am older than you.
I can't even think of a moral. What do you think?
I am older than you and I have more experience than you.
It would be better for everybody here.
Why don't you ask me, Yossi, what
is, in a way, when you think about it, after all this experience, what is the moral?
I tell you what is the moral.
What is the moral?
Very good question.
Thank you.
The moral that I realized what you said.
Yes.
And then I realized that helping companies, from my perspective, is totally useless effort.
Right.
Right? Because
we can't help.
Because when you think you are helping them, actually you confuse them. But when you think because of you, I mean the investor in general, you, me, everybody, because of our arrogance, we think we are helping the company. Actually, we devote a very little portion of our time to help the correct companies, right? So in 2004, I changed my investment philosophy, and I told my investees, this is the check. From now on, we start a mutual, wonderful, non-coexistence. You don't disturb me. I don't disturb you. Why are they laughing? You know, it's very humiliating. This is because of my accent or because of my appearance? That they are laughing?
I don't think it's the accent or the appearance.
I'm sharing them with the best.
It might be the delivery.
The best product of my brain, and
yeah, and they're laughing.
And they are laughing.
They're laughing at you. They're all laughing at you.
Yeah, what can I do? You know, story of my life. I came to talk at Kara Swisher.
Yes.
Kara
She's going to be mayor.
Pardon?
She's going to be the mayor of San Francisco.
She's running for the mayor?
She's going to run for mayor.
I'm moving to San Francisco.
Yeah, it'd be a great city.
She's a smart girl, in spite that she's competing with you in a conference, which is much better than this one.
Nah. Her conference is for the companies that are 10 years old in public. My conference is for the new companies and the new.
I offended you?
No, it's just two different things.
I will try better.
Or I'm a little offended.
So nevertheless,
I'll be a little.
I came to a conference. He said this.
I mean, she's got better coffee there. What you say?
He said this is Yossi Vardi. He looked like an unmade bed.
That's what she said? I told everybody you're a legend.
You see, so maybe I should come to your conference.
I think so. Okay.
So no, but I'm in the middle of the sentence.
Yes, keep going.
So 2004, I decided I'm not helping the companies. Believe me, they continue to perform as good, not better, not less good. When I invest, I give them my telephone number. This is my telephone number. If you have any problem raising money, you need introduction, etc., you know not to call this number because nobody is going to answer.
Don't call this one.
Don't.
If you happen to call this one, you think of calling it, don't do it.
Don't bother.
It won't work.
Did I answer your question? I already forgot.
I think it's good enough. I mean, basically,
I had one thing which I wanted to say, which I don't remember how it relates to your question, about the stupid investors. You know, the French have a saying, they are more stupid among the buyers than among the sellers. And the investors are the buyers. So this gives an answer to your question.
Very good.
This is a good sentence.
I think it's very true. Yeah. Lower your expectations. You will be disappointed.
So this is Amit Shafrir, and he will tell you why we should charge for the questions.
Okay, charge for the questions.
So you said at the beginning of this session that it's important to make connections, and so we've been friends for 20 years, and here's what I got out of it is a chance to pitch my company.
Took you 20 years to arrive to this.
No, I'm not as smart. So just really quick, I'm building a company, it's called Quiv, which is short for Questions and Giving, which is a platform for people to ask expert questions in return for charitable donation to the cause of the expert. The expert does not get paid, their cause gets the donation. That's it.
And,
I love this idea.
You love the idea, and you are willing to be...
I'll be an expert on it.
You will answer questions for charity, for your favorite.
Well, here's the thing. A lot of people have had, ideas around Q&A. What I like about this idea is the people who answer questions, the more affluent or expertise they have, the wiser they are, the less they want to take money from somebody asking the question because they feel like they're taking advantage of them. It's like people who charge companies to, present at events, right? Like, it just makes you feel icky.
That's
but they do. I mean, if you want to get, my friend told me that if you want to have, you want to meet Bruce Springsteen, the best thing to do is donate to his charity, and you'll meet him, and he won't stop talking to you if you just donate a little bit of money to his charity.
Well, a little bit for Bruce Springsteen is about $100K. So
no, it might be even less. Like to just meet him backstage if you go to one of these fundraisers.
Yeah.
So anyway, the same thing applies. I do a lunch every year where they auction off a lunch to charity.
Exactly the point.
I love this idea.
So
it's a great idea.
quiv.com/alpha. It's still closed, but you can register.
What's the domain name?
Just a minute.
Quiv, Q-U-I-V.
Q-U-I-V.
Yeah, like give, questions and giving. Quiv.com.
Love it.
Now I want to make a poll.
Yes.
How much are you willing to pay for an answer from Jason Calacanis for a question? Let's start with 50 cents. Who is willing to pay 50 cents? Raise your hand.
Wow. I feel so blessed right now. There's 6 people. That's $3.
$1.
Guys, don't go anywhere. You raise your hands, you're committed.
Who is willing to pay $1 for an answer?
All right. That's $8. That's good.
Okay, $5. Who is willing to pay $5?
Okay, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 people. Okay, $40.
Okay.
I like it.
$10.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
$10. Look, the winner will have the chance to ask Jason a question.
Wow. The hands just went
they
down.
they have to walk the talk, right? This is how you say it in America.
Yeah, okay, so that's it. Yeah, they have to.
Okay, $10, $15. Who is willing to $15?
Okay. I see like 8 people, okay.
$20. Who is willing to $20?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Jason, people have an appreciation for you.
I like this. I'm going to donate it to Hand Up, which helps the homeless organization.
$30.
One.
$30.
There's 1, 2 people, 3 people, 4.
$50.
1.
I cannot believe it.
2, 3, 4, 5. 5 people, $50. Okay, let's just make it easy. $100.
Who of the 5 people really know Jason Calacanis? Raise your hand.
Yeah, do they even know who I am? Okay, so you got at least 6 people right now for $50. Should we just make it 100 and then?
100? You think anybody will be?
Well, it's a donation to charity, so they get at least $30 off their taxes, right? I mean, it's really like 70 when you think about it.
Anybody is willing to pay $100 to us?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so line up, all 5 of you. Ask the question, and then you.
I have to tell
we're
you
at dinner,
something.
and then
I have to tell you a Jewish joke. You know
oh, good. We're at that segment. Okay, good.
So the priest.
Awesome. I got a good one for you after this.
The priest, the cadi, and the rabbi are going to the funeral of the
priest, the rabbi, and the
cadi.
The caddy. The caddy, like a golf caddy.
That's a Muslim rabbi.
Okay, I got it. Muslim rabbi, yeah.
A Christian rabbi, a Jewish rabbi, and a Muslim rabbi.
Got it. Okay. I understand now. Got it.
Are going to a funeral of a friend of them.
Yeah, good.
And they really liked him, and then the priest says, I have to admit, I owe this guy $100. He take $100 bill, he put it on the grave, he put a stone on the $100. The Qadi says, you know, you are such an honest man, I have to admit, I owe him also $100. He take $100 bill, put it on the grave, put on its stone. The rabbi say, my friends, you are such honest people, I have to tell you, I also owe him $100. He take out his checkbook, he write check on $300, he put it on the grave, and he took... This is how these guys are going to pay for your question.
All right, we'll take that with it. It's a very devout Catholic guy, and he's at his house, and there's a flood coming.
What?
A flood.
A flood.
Flood's coming. And people are leaving town. The last Jeep is driving in the water. The water is up to a foot. The Jeep drives by, and he says, get in the Jeep. The flood's going to get worse. And the guy says, no, God will provide. He said, okay. They leave. Then the flood gets up to his second floor of his house. A boat comes by and says, get in the boat. The flood's coming. The water's rising. He said, no, God's going to provide for me. Jesus will provide. And then the water rises and higher. He's on the roof. A helicopter comes. Helicopter says, get in. They throw the net down. He says, no, Jesus will provide for me. God will provide. And then finally he gets wiped out and killed. And he goes to heaven. Jesus is there and he greets him. He says, I'm here. God will provide, save me, And he says, I sent a boat, I sent a Jeep, and I sent a helicopter. Why didn't you take any of them?
So I will tell you 2 stories about floods.
Tell me about the first Jewish president.
About flood.
What about the Jewish president? This is a good story.
About the Jewish president. No, we will start with the flood.
The flood.
So the insurance guy come to a Jewish guy, tell him, I want to sell you insurance against fire and flood.
Fire and flood.
Fire and the flood. So the guy tell him, okay, fire I know how to start, but how do you start a flood? Now, you have to understand that I can tell these jokes, but you cannot, because if you tell this joke, you are becoming anti-Semite,
Right.
The whole notion of anti-Semitism was devised by us Jews in order to protect our ability to tell jokes.
Correct. You cornered the market.
You know about Jackie Mason.
I know Jackie Mason.
Jackie Mason. Jackie Mason was ordained as a rabbi. His 3 brothers were ordained as a rabbi. His father was a rabbi.
All of them.
And he started as a rabbi. He created a small congregation in the East Coast of the United States. Nobody came to the ceremonies.
None.
So in order to attract the people, he began to tell jokes.
Got it.
He started to tell jokes. All the Jews came to hear the jokes. They enjoyed it. They began to bring their Christian friends. So all of a sudden, the congregation, the building was full of people. He thought what he should do, he began to charge money. The moment he began to charge money, all the Jews fled away, and all the Christians left, and he was the first rabbi who had 100% Christian congregation.
Amazing.
Okay, now I told you 2 stories about flood.
2 stories about the flood.
One I told you, the second one. The second one, God called the rabbi, the priest, and the candid and tell them, look, you have 2 hours. After 2 hours, I put a flood that everybody will be
2 hours to go.
2 hours to go.
Clock's ticking.
Yeah, you tell it much better. Clock's ticking, etc. You add a little bit of drama. That's nice. The priest or the minister, how you call a Christian
Catholic
rabbi?
priest, yeah.
The what? The reverend.
No, priest is good.
Priest is good, okay.
Priest is good.
I'm sorry for my ignorance, you know. I was Jewish all my life. What do I know about...
Listen, when you're ready, I'll give you the new book. It's amazing. You're going to love it.
Yeah? When you are ready...
You just have part 1. When you read the sequel...
When you are ready...
It's great.
When you are ready, we will cut you to 2 parts. Believe me, it's terrific also. Okay.
Here we go.
Here we go. So the priest called his congregation and tell them, begin to ask forgiveness, etc., because you have 2 hours.
Yes.
The candid called his congregation and tell them, look, guys, you have 2 hours to ask for forgiveness, etc. The rabbi called his congregation and said, hey, guys, you have exactly 2 hours to learn how to live under the water.
Perfect.
Good.
Okay. Now, let's talk about the first Jewish president of the United States.
The first Jewish president.
You told me this story a long time ago.
Yeah.
I've told it 100 times.
So let's hear.
No. You tell it.
I tell it.
I don't want to be an anti-Semite up here telling this joke.
No, this joke is
It's a positive joke, actually.
This joke is okay. By the way, it relates.
We can tell it together.
It relate to why in Israel we have this level of high tech. You know that every kid wants to be a startup.
Yeah.
So the first Jewish president is elected in the United States. Not only it's the first Jewish president, but it's also the first woman president. Mrs. Rosenberg is elected to be the president of the United States.
Amazing.
Amazing.
She always had potential.
She called her mother and tell her, mother, I want you to come to the inauguration. Her mother said, look, I'm very old. I live in Florida. I don't want to go. I want to sleep on the same bed I slept for 60 years with your father. May he rest in peace. She said, I will let you sleep in Lincoln bed at the White House.
Amazing.
She said, no, I want to be in Florida. She said, I will send you US 1 to pick you up.
Air Force One, the president's jet.
She said, well, if you send, I will come. Next day, Mrs. Rosenberg go down the stairs with 2 suitcases. Her neighbor asked her, Mrs. Rosenberg, where are you going? She tell him, you know my son, the doctor? He said, yes, I'm going to visit his sister.
Okay. On that note,
by the way, you know that there is a 3,000 years argument between Jews, Christian, and Muslim when life begins.
Yes.
It's very important for abortion, etc.
Yeah, choice, yeah.
So according Catholicism, life starts when the egg meets the sperm.
Yes, conception, the moment of conception.
The moment of conception. According Islam, I think it's after 4 months, but I'm not sure.
Yeah.
According Judaism, for 3,000 years, the paradigm is the same. A fetus is a fetus is a fetus until it becomes a doctor.
Okay. So, on that note,
tell me, you don't feel an urge to maybe to become Jewish at least for a week or so?
I feel like I'm Jewish by association. I grew up in Brooklyn. I'm already.
And his parents and my parents used to have the same business.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were my parents and his parents owned a restaurant.
Yes.
Which is a very tough. Look, guys, if you can select between running a startup and getting investment from VCs or running restaurant, go for the first choice.
Absolutely.
Much.
A restaurant is 7 days a week, 18 hours a day.
Yeah, but it's very creative.
Yes.
It's very creative. As I told you, my mother She had a restaurant when we had the austerity in Israel, and there was no products, and she had to sell food. So she was one of the pioneers in Israel of biotechnology, because she was able to turn any organic substance into chopped liver.
Anything, just whatever it is, she would put it through there.
Yeah, paper, feathers.
Whatever it was,
goes,
leaves, anything could become chopped.
Yeah, and you know, all the Jewish food is always either mashed or grinded or
Yeah, why
or
is
chopped.
that? I wonder.
I tell you why. So you will not be able to identify the ingredients.
Ah.
You see, my mother used to do recursive cooking. You know what is recursive cooking?
No, I know recursive programming, yeah.
Yeah, recursive cooking. Every day she used the remaining of yesterday in order to create the food. And yesterday she used the remaining of the day before yesterday. And my brother and I never were able to find when she bought the original.
Never happened. It's like sourdough.
So yeah, so this is where a young Israeli learn about innovation.
Yes.
She always
and hard work.
And so they really worked very hard.
It's a different generation.
She always was very concerned. She said that I'm the only idiot in the family, and all my cousins are smart. I guess that this is not necessarily Jewish attitude.
No.
So she complained, why you are an idiot and your cousins are so smart, but though she finished maybe eight years of study, she was very curious, and she always read popular science, and she liked genetics. She told me, you are idiot and your cousins are smart because they are not contaminated with the genes of your father.
What do you think of this generation today? They call them millennials. They're very purposeful and driven by purpose. They have causes they care about. What do you think of this generation?
I think, you know, you are a kid. I belong to I think you call it baby boomers.
Yeah, the greatest.
The kids which were made during World War II. You know, it was dark. You couldn't have light because of the bombing.
Yeah, the smoke.
Not in America, but. Yeah. And the people had only one way of entertaining themselves, and there is a whole generation which. And we were very focused, you know, about finding our place in the world. You know, we had to finish high school and then to go and study in university and then to take a mortgage and to buy an apartment and to make 3 kids. And before that, to find a wife. Usually it's useful in order to make the kids. And this was our life. You know, I look on this millennium, they look to me much smarter than us. First of all, that they are much more accommodating. You know, when I grew up, if a girl was divorced, or if somebody gender-wise was either gay or lesbian, it was like the closet. You know, you couldn't talk about it. It was an issue. I see with my sons, you know, they have friends of Facebook. Facebook suggested there are 27 kinds of genders.
27 genders.
27 genders. They forgot one gender, by the way, which is male Jewish mothers, like me. You know, I'm male, but I'm Jewish mother in my
thinking.
Yeah, and if you don't believe, ask my kids. And today, nobody cares. They accommodate everybody. It's really, they're much smarter. They care much more about society. They care much more about doing the right thing. They are the wonderful youngsters, most of them. Not all of them, but most of them.
Yeah, it seems like we've made some progress.
Yeah, until now. Now we have to wait and see what happens from now on.
Oh, so we're back to the first question that you didn't want to answer. You're a little concerned.
I don't know what you are related to.
Okay. But you might be a little concerned?
Pardon?
You a little bit concerned?
I'm concerned about other issues. You know, I'm concerned about what happened between Israel and the Palestinians, when we are going to have 2 states, when we are going to have peace in our region. This is what concerns me.
Is it going to happen in our lifetime? Your lifetime?
I don't know. It should happen.
It should have happened.
It should have happened. It should happen. It must happen.
How close are we?
I'm not getting too optimistic in this respect, unfortunately.
You were more optimistic not long ago.
Yeah.
Well, we'll keep working towards it.
You? What are you going to do? Tell me your program.
Well, my plan was I go back with you, and we have a dinner, and we'll just talk to everybody and say,
this
hey.
is what everybody else do. You know, everybody talks.
But your mom makes the chip liver.
After everything was said and done, more was said and done.
Yeah, exactly. Well, these things take time, you know. It's only been a couple of thousand years. We have a couple thousand more, we'll get it done. Okay. Don't worry, Trump will solve it. He'll go over there, it's going to be amazing. It's going to be the greatest piece ever. It's going to be like the most luxurious and amazing piece.
You never know.
The best
you
piece.
never know. You know, the first Israeli prime minister who made peace was Menachem Begin, who came totally from the right. And because he came from the right, he was able to go and do things that people from the left were unable to do. And it was really totally unexpected. And people criticized the peace with Egypt. But since the peace of Egypt, no Israeli kid, no Egyptian kid was killed on the border. Where no Israeli mother, no Egyptian mother shed any tears, you know. And this is something...
it's amazing. Yeah.
Which is big.
Well, I hope we can work towards that. Okay, this has been an amazing hour with Mr. Yossi Vardi. Big round of applause.
Our iTunes review of the week is from Zilling Gong. Jason's experience as an entrepreneur and successful angel investor adds to the extraordinary guests in the trenches, toiling to make humanity better via startups.